This video is to help guide you through the beginning part of your assignment. So this is setup and a little bit of instructions of what's expected. All right, so I am in the program Illustrator. I'm gonna go through and create a new document, which is Command N. Right, you're gonna be working with print, letter. I'm gonna be working in inches. I'm gonna title this document our last name _ veggies. All right, our orientation is going to be landscape, and you're going to have 2 artboards. All right, so go ahead and press create. And once you press create, I want you to go ahead and set your margins. And your margins are going to be at 1/2 inch. And I want you to center your margins. And you're going to do that for both artboards. Alright, so once you zoom out, that's what it looks like. My margins are set at 1/2 inch for my perimeter, and they are centered for both of my artboards. Alright, so first I want to go in and place my file. I'll go to File, Place, and the image we're going to use is the veggies. Go ahead and place this image into our document. All right, so this image is going to be placed on your first artboard. After I place it, I'm going to go ahead and scale this image by holding Shift so my image is not distorted. Oops. Okay. I'm going to center that image. I know that it's centered because my anchor points are shown centered here and here. That's also an indication that my measurements or my margins are correct. So once I've placed my image, I want to lock it into place, and to lock it is Command 2. The shortcut command is Command 2. You can also go to Object and lock your selection. You can also unlock under Object as well. All right, so once you've locked your image into place, I'm going to turn off my margins so you can see what I'm doing. And to turn on your margins and to turn them off, or to show and hide, the shortcut command is Command semicolon. All right, so the little character that I'm going to create with you is going to be the tomato. All right, so the tools, you'll be using a couple of tools. You'll be using your shape tools. You'll be using your direct selection tool, your pen tool, eyedropper tool. I think that's about it. All right, so we're going to start off first by making our shape. So we see that our tomato is round. All right, so the tool I want to use is the ellipse tool, and you can find that underneath your rectangle tool. All right, so I just want to try to make that shape and get it as close as possible. All right, to that shape. So basically what you'll be doing for this project is tracing each character. And once you've made that character, you're going to move it onto your second artboard. All right, you're retrieving your colors by simply sampling the color of your objects. So you're going to sample each color by using your eyedropper tool. All right, so that's how I got my color red. All right, so the next tool we're going to use is the pen tool. All right, in order to use your pen tool, you want to have your stroke, you want to have a color applied to your stroke and not your fill. And this way, it'll just make it easier with when you outline. And then you can go back and fill it with the color. So I'm just going to continue to use that red color for my stroke. My fill, I have none. And the tool I'm going to use is the pen tool. So in the demonstration from last week, you should have got a feel for how to use your pen tool. And excuse me guys if I'm kind of coughing or just drinking through this demonstration. I am a little under the weather. All right, so I have my pen tool, and when you outline, you want to go around and make these curved lines. All right, so I'm gonna go through and make the curved line. So with my pen tool, I'm gonna start here by making one point. Once I've made that point, I'm going to move away from the point. I'm gonna go to the point of the little leaf here. And in order to make this line, I'm going to click and hold my mouse down, and I'm gonna drag that mouse out in order to make that curved line. And then release. All right, so once you've done that, you'll see a preview of what your next line will look like. So I don't want a curved line right here because it's going to not look like the actual trace. I want to have a straight line. So in order to make a straight line, I'm going to come back and click this point. And now my preview will show me that I have a straight line. So now that'll give me that sharp edge on the tip. So you're making points. So the next point I'm going to go to is this point right here. Click, hold, drag your mouse out, then release. I'll come back, click this point, make another point because we're going to just find our way around it. Click, hold, make that curved line, and release. Click that point, click, hold, drag that mouse out, come back, click that point, and release. click, hold, come back, click that point. And then we'll just be making our way around the top portion of your tomato. Now, an indicator for you when you're filling your shape is if you notice where this point is, this is an indicator to you. Wherever you start, you have to finish. So if you see that little circle, that means you've reached the point of where you started. Click, hold, make that shape, and I'm going to release. All right, so that's what my shape looks like without it being filled. All right, I'm going to use my eyedropper tool to sample that color. And once I sample that color, you can see here, then now it's the same shade of green. I'm gonna leave this over here because I want to group these two items together. All right, so I'm gonna go back and use my pen tool. I'll make a point, go to the very top, click and hold, and that's gonna give me that curved line. Release, come back and click that same point, because like we said, we're just tracing around your image. Sample my color. And boom. And at any time that you don't like the placement of a point, you can use the direct selection tool, and that'll allow you to move those points. So even if that point isn't where you want it to, you can come back and move it. You can also change your curve as well if you're not satisfied with the curve. All right, so I want to group both of these items together. I'm going to select them by holding Shift. Okay, hold Shift. Select my second item. Command G is group. Now that is grouped as one unit. All right, so I'm just gonna pop this over there. Actually, let me ungroup it for a second. Okay, there we go. All right, so like I said, now this is one object.